So I was separating the colors from the whites, but it felt too much like segregation. So I just put them all together.
Would you just admit that women have it harder than men, and our bet is off?
Men never say die. And I'm gonna show you after I finish folding your fine washable.
Yo, what is up, everybody? We are back. Not for 40 Acres, no. We are back for Insecure. Thank God. It has been a long wait. I think these niggas started shooting in like May or June or something. I don't know. And I didn't know when we were going to get this season, but then they like dropped a date. And it was August 12th, which is my sister's birthday. I was like, cool. This is what's up. And the first episode dropped this past Sunday, and it was season 3 everything. Like, I missed this show so much. So I'm glad it's back.
I'm glad it's back too.
I'm also glad it's back.
Especially that opening scene.
Oh, okay. So let's get the incidentals out of the way first. Well, the first incidental is that my recorder is using the wrong microphone because my Mac wants to act like a Windows box. Yes, I'm throwing Windows shade. But yeah, okay. So season 3 returned. So we returned. So let's go ahead and where's my 40 Acres podcast? This is the Boob Tube. Maybe this is on premium. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. More than likely, though, it's probably on YouTube. So that's a good thing. And tonight, the hosts are Phenom Black, of course, Miss Music Lover, and Joy, who I hope can regularly join us. But we'll see, because I know she's famous and shit, you know, South by Southwest press and shit like that.
I'm glad we opened with this, because let's get into it, because I get a text message from this nigga a couple of weeks ago being like, hey, quick question. So do I need to talk to your agent to schedule you for the inaugural season 3 podcast? To which I respond, get the fuck out of here.
Wait, but do you have an agent though?
No, I do not have an agent. No, I do not have an agent.
But you got a million views with Gabrielle Dennis and Simone Music, so I don't want you to act like you're not famous.
Yeah, still, I'm on the cusp of poverty. It is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna do this.
So we're not gonna play her. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't have to talk to your agent. Maybe next time I'll get to meet him or her, whoever he or she is. But yeah, I'm glad you could join us. And this will be interesting because, like, Joe, I think you're like built for podcasting, but nobody's like locked you down yet. So I figured
you're not the funny enough, like one of my friends was telling me that because I think a lot of my reactions, both live and in person, are very they're built for sound bites. Because I just always have just audible reactions of what, why, which I mean, I'm flattered by it, but I don't know how y'all do it, honestly. It's a blessing that y'all do it and I don't, because I'm genuinely like a avid podcast lover, but I'm also like a huge listener of like Where's My 40 Acres outside of being a somewhat frequent guest.
Well, if your agent ever decides to offer a discount, tell them we'd love to have him or her.
And you're not a guest, you're family.
Oh, thank you.
Don't say guest. I appreciate that. That sounds so lower class. No, you're family.
I appreciate that. It's so funny. This is just random. So I decided to listen back to the Eargasm podcast when you guys did Eminem's revival. You know, I listen to that randomly when I need like a solid laugh. Like genuinely. Like when I need a legitimate laugh, I probably listen to it at least once a month. Just putting it out because it cracks me up every time.
Well, heads up, because we'll be doing a double whammy of an eargasm sometime this week. I had talked with Mary, and we both sacrificed our ears to Nicki Minaj's Queen and Noriega's new album.
Oh, so I listened to that Nicki Minaj's trash of an album yesterday morning. Yeah. I said, let me get it out the way because I know I'm not going to listen to it again. So right.
If you want another additional person, I will absolutely sign up to do Nicki Minaj's Queen because I surely listened to it and okay. I had questions, comments, and concerns.
So now I'm gonna need to schedule. So this one just went from a 2-person podcast to now a 4-person podcast. Great. I didn't think this many people was gonna give her any attention. I think we're her biggest fans right now.
No, because what you fail to realize is that you add the context of her Twitter meltdown today, which I just need to talk.
Listen, it started last night, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta go to work in the morning."
And as somebody who's a marketing professional, I just want to go and list down how terrible this marketing rollout was. So please,
yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna save that. We're gonna put all of that on ice right now for the Queen review, which we're gonna do this week. So I'll let y'all know what the day is, so we can go ahead and do that. And let me get into this other part. So I am trying to be more organized with our podcast. Like, we do a lot of podcasting and we do a lot of other stuff separately on our own. So linking up and making sure that we can lock it down so we can do Insecure for people to listen to, because we love watching the show, and whatever other show we decide to do, we have to start fucking with the schedule. We have to start doing calendar stuff. I'm not like in the Trello yet. I'm just really not trying to take it that far, because I am just not that organized of a person. But as far as like setting a date, locking it down, and going through with it, as long as something else doesn't come up, that's what's up. So we had a conversation. We were like, hey, what day is a good day to do Insecure? And me, I have the podcast in my home. I'm here every night because, like, fuck staying longer than 5 minutes after work any day of the week. And if they need me, I'll be at home. Call me up. So I'm like, yo, whatever night, as long as I ain't got a screener, you know, we can do it. So just let me know what day. And even if we do have a screener, then I might have to blow that screener off that night. That's just how it goes. So we locked down 2 days. We were like, it's either Monday or it's going to be Tuesday. And the reason was because, you know, Deidre wanted Mondays, right? Deidre was like, Mondays are good for me. I can do Mondays. Twan goes, well, Tuesdays are good for me. I'm busy on Mondays. Okay. So I'm like, all right, bro, we'll do Tuesdays then, you know, because he's just like, I can't do it. So Tuesday, 9 o'clock rolls around. Where is this nigga? Well, he just showed up. I rushed
to get home. I'm going to just add that shit in too.
He just showed up at 9:22.
Nigga, be on mute at that.
Right. Nigga, what's going on? What's going on? You got your day. You got your time. What's going on, bro?
And then he's on mute.
He's on mute because he's doing something. Because he's doing something else. This is what podcasting is really like. When everybody's like, hey man, I'm gonna start a podcast with my friends and we're gonna become famous like the Reed, and we're gonna make all this money, and you know, we're gonna travel around the world, and then we're gonna be on Dear White People like Kid Fury. Like that's not. First off, you got to schedule your time. Cause it takes time to gather a gaggle of niggas. It takes time, all right? So if you think it's just gonna be smooth sailing, you are misfortuned and confused.
I rushed home just so I could be like, I'm gonna try to get here at a normal time. I hadn't eaten dinner. I hadn't gotten settled. I literally threw my dog out to pee, and he's back in the house, and he's upset because he didn't get a walk.
I'm gonna have a conversation with you later about Luke, but that's for later. That's for later. It might even be for the podcast tomorrow, but that's for later.
Oh God, what? What about him?
Nothing. We're not gonna talk about it right now. We're here to talk.
Ooh, he's about to get out my house next week. I can't wait. I just thought about it.
Okay, so Insecure. My bad, y'all. I just needed to point that out. I want to give y'all the behind the ratchet tea for the pod for you know, putting together a podcast. Excuse me. First things first, Lawrence is not coming back, and I'm sorry. Like I'm on my high horse about this shit. I was fucking right. Like I was like, that nigga doesn't need to come back.
He doesn't.
He don't.
They don't need him. Like I'm sorry, they don't need his character anymore. If they bring him back later or in another season, fine. But the whole opening of the show was showing the insecurities of Lawrence and Issa and the relationship that they developed based on that ground of insecureness. So for him to finally realize that he was being a supreme fuckboy and to show up to her door and apologize, like a legit, genuine, heartfelt apology. There's no more reason for her to interact with his character right now.
You forgot the Carl Thomas sweater, but everything you said was accurate.
My nigga, emotional. I can't let go. I am trying to hold on to you.
That literally that scene still throws me off because I'm like, he was wearing a maxi dress. I'm like, what is the temperature out in LA today?
I know she got a damn sleeveless dress on.
I was like, sis, if you're wearing this maxi long, sleeveless dress, as Deidre said, and he comes in with a full cable knit sweater, cream sweater, I have questions. What's the temperature?
To cover the neck as well. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, it the fashion department.
I hate y'all. This was so unnecessary.
Listen, if you see that Carl Thomas cover, you'd be like, "Yep,
so
absolutely."
Unnecessary. Y'all didn't have to go there with that man. He's already gone.
But honestly, no, but it makes sense. Like, to be serious for a quick second, like, it does make sense. Like, and what I love about Insecure is Insecure really shows the life cycle of a relationship. You break up with someone at the end of the relationship. You have this weird, especially as long as Issa and Lawrence was, like, you have this weird trying to figure out assets because they were living together. They had to figure out who was doing what. You moving out the apartment, like, what you doing. And then you never see each other again because you think that other person is trash. It's like that's how it goes.
Also,
right, and the show is about Issa. Like, it's not Lawrence and Issa. I mean, we get Molly's story just because she's a side product because she's Issa's best friend, but it's not Lawrence's story. So once they broke up, Lawrence was going to go. Like, if just so happens Lawrence like contacts her in that regard, then yeah, we might see him, but that's the only way we would, because again, it's not his show.
I'm just appreciative that Issa decided to flex her creative license and remind niggas that a Black woman made this show. And she can do whatever the fuck she wants. So if that means that she takes Lil Fave out the paint, and that's what she does.
Yeah. I just want to reiterate, I was right. That's all I'm saying. Just reiterating that. I know people. And
honestly, at this episode, just further reinforces how right you were, Brittany. Honestly, like this episode, Point Parody. I love the focus of like that Black friendship and like that Black sisterhood. Like it fits a lot better. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, yeah, no, I don't miss him.
Yeah, Jay Ellis was a good actor and he did well with the role. But yeah, there's no reason to crowbar his separate story. And if they did a spinoff show about him, sure, he had some interesting friends. I'm sure they could have some interesting conversations, and kind of seeing him maneuver through the tech world as a Black man, I think would be an interesting concept for a show. But to crowbar his story into this story, which is not about him anymore, is unnecessary.
If they brought the light-skinned Kappa friend, I would enjoy that. He was funny.
He is funny.
I did like him.
Don't run into him at a pool party or something. I'm sure of it. Doing fuck nigga shit. This whole season is supposed to be about masculine toxicity, so I'm sure he'll show up at some point. It is what it is. The first episode is, so they switched around the way they do the naming of the episodes. Typically, they do like a word in front that is the same for each episode, and then the description of that episode and one other word following it. So it'll be like hella insight, hella fresh, hella lost, hella confused. Like last season was all hella. This season they kind of flipped it and they put a description of the episode or the mood for that episode, the theme or whatnot, and they follow that up with the same word. So this season the word is like. So it's better like, familiar like, backwards like, et cetera, et cetera. You can go to Wikipedia. Typically they have all the episodes names listed for the whole season. I'm interested to see how that is going to go, because, it's funny. Like, I feel like it plays on the way people talk. And Issa actually does talk like that. They did that wind down thing after the episode, and she definitely follows up her words the same way we do here with like. So I'm wondering, exactly where she, pulled that from. And also, better like is kind of just kind of better, not really fully better, better-ish, better like, shit like that. So I think that's kind of where they got the play on that. I wanted to ask this question before we jump into the actual episodes. So being that HBO now has, for the first episode of this, they had Issa, they had the writer of the episode, I believe, Prentice or something like that. I can't think of what his name was. And then they had Molly's character, Yvonne Orji, or I don't want to say Orgy, but Yvonne.
Wow.
Oh, Josh.
Well, no. That's how you. I think that is how you pronounce her last name is Orji.
Really? That's,
not even joking.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how it's spelled.
Oh.
Orji. That's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
I keep it proper. But yeah, so they were doing their thing now that they do after the episodes called the wind down. When I saw that, I went, oh, so are they not doing Insecure T anymore with Crizzle and Fran?
I believe they are, because I saw them promote it.
Okay. So they are still doing it. Because I thought that was an HBO affiliated.
Did the wind down though.
I didn't know they did the wind down.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Swan.
Right.
Yeah, they've always done the wind down after the episodes. And it's usually her and another cast member.
I don't remember wind downs last season. I missed them.
Yeah, I missed them too. I didn't. This is my first time hearing about them.
Pool.
Yeah, they did the wine. Like, this was probably the first time they did it with two people. Normally they were doing it with just, it was Issa and another character. And they did it like with Lawrence, the person who plays Lawrence. The dude that plays Dro, like Tasha's character. They're done with pretty much all the characters up there. They did Daniel, and then of course Kelly, because she helps write. So
yeah, she has an overall HBO deal over there too. What's her name? Natasha Rothwell.
Yeah, they said she's an executive. She's an executive producer or something like that on the show. Her name is deep in the credits, like. With the higher affiliates.
She's actually a very talented writer, from what I've heard.
Mm-hmm. I follow her, and I follow that Ben Corey. Is it Ben Corey Jones? That's one of the writers on the show as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So, he, full of black writers and whatnot. So keep that black eliteness going. But yeah, this was a good episode to start the season off, and I think it jumped right in where it needed to, giving us a look into the situation, because we were wondering last year, what was Issa gonna do, given the way she kind of showed up, how that was gonna go, how that was gonna play out, and what kind of lines and whatnot they were gonna draw. So set some rules, and what's the groundwork gonna be like? How fucking messy is this shit gonna be? Mm-hmm. And it's pretty messy. It's pretty fucking messy the way it opens up.
No, it's not. Well, I guess it is.
Yes, it is.
It was great for me when it opened up.
Why was it great for you?
because Daniel's fine as fuck. Like, so that was wonderful to see.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
He's about to be at my man has had a great year. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. It has a Y and a dash and an L after it, so I'm not gonna even fuck it up.
Yvonne?
Yeah, probably Elon. But he was like in the first Purge. He also has a film that's premiering at TIFF this year. So like he having a nice little year.
I heard he did good in the Purge.
Oh, yeah. He was amazing in the Purge, man. They turned that shit into a black superhero movie.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to him.
Like that shit was black as fuck, and they were like, oh, because he was like a gangster in there, and then they started coming as people, and he was like, no, they come to my neighborhood, and that nigga locked and loaded and turned into an impossible black man movie. That nigga was taking on everybody. It was literally him and a wife beater and a gun, and he was like, yeah.
Oh, I might need to see that for that. Okay.
But yeah. So that and I know y'all, the women, y'all enjoyed that Black Love. I'm looking at it from dorm college days, Issa's perspective. That shit was messy, and frankly,
it was messy now. And initially, I thought it was Issa, just because
I thought it was too. They deliberately tricked us to think that.
Of course they did.
They wanted you to think that.
Even her skin tone was like darker, like when it first started. But and then like later, like when it transitioned, and there's Issa on the couch.
I didn't need it to transition. That noise that she was making, I was like, that's not Issa. I
don't know Issa's moan noise.
Like I said, Issa's fuck noises. Like
I'm watching the show.
I was like, what noise does she make? I don't recall.
I don't either. Right.
And I'm not going to. So
that's where I'm at.
Darker
I was like,
skin, and then it kind of fit. I said, okay. But,
I want to know the noises, Brandon.
I mean, you watch the show, don't you? You ever heard her making those noises when she been fucking? Because she been fucking on this show now.
No, she has.
She has, but I don't recall any noises. I'm not gonna harp on this. I'm just saying, I know how this show goes. I know how Issa tends to play people with this show. And I was like, they're going really overboard with this woman making this noise. I guarantee you Issa listening on the couch or some bullshit. And lo and behold, the transition to her trying to cover her ears. And when they show her, if you listen, Daniel's groans get louder. Like, that's why she made that look before she walked out the door, like, nigga, you really going overboard trying to make me jealous of you fucking chicks in the room.
Oh, yeah, that was round 2 when she left and you heard the moans again. That was round 2.
Whatever it is, it's the first hint of that male ego shit that they're going to be dealing with this season, because he absolutely was doing that on purpose. And if you can do that shit on purpose, hey, nigga,
I mean, hey, if you could fuck a girl and get back at another one, I mean, 2 for 1.
Wow, Sean, this is really fucking petty, bro.
I felt bad to a certain extent for Issa, just because, not even for like, oh, you probably feel jealous, but mostly like, I like to sleep. So when I'm ready to go to bed and you're not letting me go to bed, we're gonna have beef. Like, it's gonna be a problem. But at the same token, girl, you staying on his house for $3.99.
Really on his couch.
$3.99, honey.
Really,
he has every right in his home that he pays for to do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm. Can't even sit at the dinner table and eat because he got 2 guitars and 4 speakers and a mixer, and he got his whole studio right there. So she's just on the couch. I don't even know where her bags was at. Where she hanging her clothes? Yeah, because that ain't the biggest spot. It's kind of tight.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's a producer.
Yeah, in LA. I mean, look at her situation in LA. She is doing lifts while working a full-time nonprofit job during the day and still sleeping on somebody's couch.
I mean, a full-time nonprofit job is basically you both.
That's why I said a full-time nonprofit. I made sure to put that nonprofit after for a reason.
Yeah. That the nonprofit is like, it's subtle. Mm-hmm. to tell you and to indicate.
Nonprofit it's a step above volunteering.
Yeah, it is. I don't disagree with
And I worked at a nonprofit, so I kind of
feel like a nonprofit is below volunteering, because despite that you might be getting a regular paycheck, I feel like you being forced to do some shit for a really small paycheck versus volunteering. You at some point you can just poke your head up and be like, you know what? I'm tired of volunteering. I'm going home. I'm done. Issa can't do that. She getting fussed out by white women at her job. Was she the token black woman?
Yeah.
For an organization that is supposed to be helping, kids of color, that is on the brink of falling the fuck apart, because we got y'all. I love that they pointed out that them kids is being held up by a white hand in the teasers for next episode.
Yes.
I was dying.
I'm so ready for all the racist accusations to come out, because we all knew it as soon as we saw it.
Yeah.
Like, yep, this is gonna be great.
She said it's not. I love it. I know we're talking about the next episode, but I just love the fact that her excuse for it not being racist that a white hand was lifting up 3 black kids was because it was her hand. That was her excuse. She's like, it can't be racist. It's my hand. It's like, oh my God, that.
You know how many white women think that?
It's a super white comment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It can't be racist that I'm touching this black baby's hair because it's me. Yeah, so she jumps into being a Lyft driver. And while being out in San Diego, we do a lot of lifting. And it's funny because, I'm sorry to shade this, Joy, it's a different experience lifting in New York than lifting in San Diego by fucking far.
I can imagine. Listen, I'm not offended. Like, It is what it is.
Okay, cool.
Like, the truth is the truth. It's going to be a different experience for every region, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel like the requirements for like car decor are higher. Higher standards in San Diego than
absolutely.
in New York. Like niggas be like, hold on, I just came back from getting my tail light fixed, but we good. It works now. Click, click, click.
Yeah,
click.
like I'm not a fan about that. Like as a native New Yorker, I will say for a fact, I don't give a fuck about most things.
Cool.
And I think it just has everything to do about where I'm from. We just don't care.
Something like New York where then they're trying to ban like the shared rides.
Not necessarily ban the share ride. I think I saw something because like they had like these privacy notices that they were sending me. I think they were trying to limit the amount of people who signed up to be like Lyft or Uber drivers, if I remember. Like, don't quote me on that, but
Okay.
they were trying to limit something. Like there was this big New York Post article that came out about how this is how we're terrible. There's this big New York Post article talking about how cab drivers in the city are like literally like, you know, there's one who like committed suicide. There were a couple like, and a lot of it is due to the stress of not being able to sustain their business because, you know, Lyft and Ubers are taking over and Via and other share ride services. And pretty much people were being like, oh, well, like people are awful. They're
I
like,
mean,
okay,
taxis are trash.
Are they still not? Are those taxis still not picking up Black people?
That was the response on most people, and I was like, you ain't wrong.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's like, so yeah, the standards are a little different. So, you know, Issa being a Lyft driver in LA, I think would be a better experience. And your car, she's got her car is nice. It's all fixed up and shit from what happened last season with the accident and whatnot. That was completely her fault. And she's out on her first, I'm assuming she said it was her first, but I think she said it was her first Lyft job. And her first Lyft experience is some white dude casually getting in her backseat looking normal as hell. Like he didn't fall in, you know, he didn't look like Tekashi #6ix9ine or anything. He didn't have like tattoos all over his face and colorful hair and shit. He sat down casually and said hello and proceeded to then throw the fuck up all over her floor.
Disgusting. Oh my God.
Ain't that like an automatic, like $200 added to?
I think it's like $250.
It should be, and I'm sure she picked him up.
I think it's like an automatic. You can like hit a button to be like they threw up.
Oh yeah, the person, because my homeboy does Lyft and Uber, and this white girl threw up in his car.
What is up?
Even though he told him like, you need to throw up, let me know. I'll pull to the side. And she stayed sticking her finger in her mouth, and she threw up all on his car.
She did it on purpose? Her mouth?
Mm-hmm. She did.
She did.
She was already like busted, and he was already kind of, you know, iffy because he was like, "Oh, this white woman coming in my car," and like her homegirl literally just threw her in the car and, you know, just let her go. Like not one stayed with her.
Friends.
So she was like laying on her back, and he's telling her, at any point in time you feel like, you know, you want to throw up, let me know. I'll pull over the side. You can do whatever. And she drunk, sticking her finger in her mouth, threw up everywhere everywhere on the seat. So he said that automatically got charged $250. He kicked her out.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because it didn't have to sit, because, you know, this is like early Sunday morning, like after club night. So he said that he got it cleaned, but Lyft actually gave him an additional like $250.
What you said it had to sit. What do you mean it had to sit?
I mean, he had to wait till in the morning to go get it clean. Like
Right.
he can wipe. He tried to clean it the best he could, but I mean, it's not gonna be like a deep clean. So he ended up getting $500 for it.
I mean, I've had that happen, not because I Lyft drive, and you gotta take that whole back seat out, bro. Like I know people don't know that that your car can do that, but you can absolutely unclip your whole back seat and pull that bitch out.
That's why taxis have vinyl, so they can just hose that shit off, spray it down.
Yeah, but you still got to get even with that. Like, and I'm glad that they had Molly get in the car later. We don't know how many days later. I'm assuming the next day later, get in the car
You talking
and
about
say
smell.
that get right, because see, with puke, even if you leave one small eyedropper of it in your car, it will smell like somebody threw up in that bitch 5 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get all that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find it. Like if you smell it, it's there. You got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. Or ride around smelling puke for the rest of your days.
Yeah, he had to get his seat, and he had cloth seats, so you know he had to get his like deep cleaned.
Yeah, you gotta go get that good detail right there.
Yeah. Yep.
He was like, just him, cleaning like the best, He said that thing seeped in. Ugh. I mean, I'm saying, and I smell throw up every day at work, but yeah, I smell all the smells.
Yeah, no, nope. So they show us what Molly is doing. She's on vacation. She's rocking it. She got her
Living
little
her
little
life.
vacation boy toy.
She does.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad. I'm happy.
Me too.
I want to be happy, but like she's lying to herself because she's on vacation. She's like, I'm
When has she not
now.
been lying to herself since season 1?
You are right.
I'll take my wins when I can. Like, that's how I feel about it. Anytime Molly does something somewhat decent, I'll be like, all right, well, it's a win. I'll take it.
What did she say? Would she say I'm thinking on another level or something when she came back? She say know better, do better. And
yes,
I was like,
know better, do better.
These are all lies. Yes. All these lies just falling out her mouth.
She says, "Oh, Quentin wanted to come here. Bloop, you stay in Chicago. Chicago did."
That bloop blam, bleeping, blippity blipping. I was like, she's being hella fucking extra because she about to get some dro dick tonight. Like she knows it. She's like, I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to be strong. But I know that nigga coming over. She looked at that phone like, disgusted. But inside she was like, yay. I was like, see, just lying to yourself on the outside. Just lying to yourself on the fucking outside.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the part, but I preach this all the time on the podcast. But when we get to the point, I'll talk about it.
Can we talk about this vase that Issa broke that she claiming she ain't break? Because she don't remember breaking this shit. This how you know they're best friends.
I like how they put it in there though, because like sometimes you can be the best of friends, but you're like, no, we can't live together. And
I learned that the hard way.
And they were like, no, we can't live together because they still arguing about a vase.
Remember that week we stayed together? You broke my vase. I didn't touch your vase. It's like, That shit came right back up. It was fresh. It was
broke already.
That was a cold issue until the word vase was mentioned, and it became hot warm again.
And it's a great way too of when you write it to eliminate the question from people asking why can't she just stay with Molly?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's true. We don't have to worry about that no more. This is why she can't stay with her.
She can't stay with Molly because they pointed out this too. Like, Issa ain't a Dro fan, so
she not.
That's part of it too. Like, she don't want to be around that shit. And that nigga's over there all the time, from what I can tell. I'm gonna put this out there now. I hope they show us or give us some type of glimpse, or at least answer the question for me: is Candace doing this shit to the same degree that he is? Because I need to know. Because I don't think she is. I just don't think she is. I think this is for draw. I think this is just my nigga needed. He needed to do this because just off of this episode, I can see that he has this ego about him. This whole feeling like he's in control of the situation shit about him. Yes. And he can have his cake and eat it too shit.
I can come in and out when I want to, but I can wine and dine you, but
it's like that. I can be married and have freedom shit, and I'm like, but you don't. That whole you're married, you're locked down. Well, you chose that person to be with. So if you marry somebody, bruh, and you look at it as I'm locked down, then you fucked up. You shouldn't have got married at all, because that's not a part of being married to somebody. Is being locked down.
Yeah, I'm curious, and especially now that you say that too about Candace. Like, what is the degree of, is she just kind of like casual sex? Like, if it happens, it happens, and then that's it, or is it more along the lines of like how Dro is, where he somewhat is acting like he is in a fucking relationship, even though he has the perks of just bouncing when he wants to. For the sake of, because his wife's calling him.
Well, they answered that question that I was kind of trying to get at last season when we were discussing the show, is how much does Candace actually know about this shit? I think we had a discussion of if she knew or if he was lying about being in an open relationship. And I think they completely squashed that when Candace called him on the phone and he was like, oh, I'm at Molly's.
Molly's, yeah.
I was like, okay, so she fucking knows. Like they do have an open relationship. Now I just want to see to what degree of open is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious too, because I got a feeling she's not as deep in it as he is.
She didn't look
I hope
comfortable
she
in
is.
it. I do too.
I hope she is. I hope she's getting all the finest dick in the world, but she's probably not. She's probably one of those, like, if it happens, it happens, but she's not doing as much as he is. I'm pretty sure that's what it
And
is.
he's doing the most, and that's the issue.
Exactly.
So yeah, they cut back to that. I'm not gonna even try to do this episode in order. I didn't write the stuff down. We just hit the main points of the episode. I'm not sure. I know what's going on with Daniel, and I understand his sentiment. I understand where he's coming from. I also understand he's a big fucking baby.
He is.
And I'm glad that Issa did not hold her tongue, because she has a tendency, when he said be real with me, I'm glad she was. Like, he opened that door when he was like, be real with me, stop fucking talking circles around me and trying to be cute. You're really good at that, to divert, but I want you to be real. And she was. Nigga, you know what you doing. Like, you fucking chicks right in front of me.
And, like, I mean, I'm glad Issa spoke up. I'm glad that, I don't know, it's kind of like Danny wanted her to, like, just be, like, so open, like, I want to be with you, blah, 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 blah. Because you remember at one point, like, I mean, literally seems like not too long before after he was fucking that girl, and they had, like, the little moment where they were, like, drinking, and he was trying to kiss her, and then she was like, whoa, like, and he got attitude, and it's like, yeah, why are you kissing me? Like, why are you even doing that? Like, why are you taking it there when you literally was just fucking somebody, like, not too long ago?
Wasn't that after he, like, talked to, I don't know, like, his sister or something?
Yeah, that was after he talked to his sister. It was the same night.
And she, he was, because it almost like she planted a little idea, because he was like, no, she's just chilling, ain't like that. And she was like, and then he had to look on his face like, well, maybe it is like that. Maybe she's trying to, like, next he was like, oh, let me try to get this kiss.
See,
and then he got smacked back down to reality.
I feel like I understand. I hear what you're saying, and I can see how it would look like that. But I feel like that's just being a nigga. I feel like that's bullshit, because he knows that he still has feelings for her. He knows that they had a relationship before and they were tight like that. That's why he even letting her sleep on the couch in the fucking first place. And then to top that off, the shit that he's immaturely doing, fucking women as loud as possible in the other room, knowing that she there, ignoring her fucking text messages to be childish. He's doing that shit because he does want to be with her, but the way he's approaching it is like a teenager. He's like, I'm gonna fuck this girl so good, Issa gonna want to be with me finally. Like, that's what he doing. And I'm like, bruh, or nigga, you could just talk to her. But niggas be like, I feel like I gotta show you that you need this dick, I gotta remind you that you gonna want this dick. And it's so fucking childish and unnecessary.
And I'm trying to remember him from last season, because I'm trying to remember how he was towards her as far as for, like, opening up as far as for how he feels about her. Because, I'm kind of remembering things like, like when she got in a car accident, he was there and he's like, I got you, I don't know if all of this too is the fact of, like, Issa hasn't been, like, 100%, open and honest with her feelings like he wants to, and, like, how he wasn't in the past. So, like, if this is more like on some, like, I'm gonna be a nigga just because, when I was doing it, you didn't appreciate yada, 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 yada. Not saying it's right, because it's not, but I'm trying to remember, like, all of how Daniel was towards her then.
I mean, like she said, he was like the knight in shining armor, and some of that could be just like because he's feeling insecure about the whole situation, so he's gonna sit there and be fucking these girls and be like, yeah, I'm fucking these girls, yeah, she, like Brandon said, she's gonna want me, but yeah, I can prove that I don't need her. I don't have these feelings that I have, and then after you fuck the girl go home, those feelings are still there. You still wake up, you look at her in the morning, you be like, shit. And I'm kind of
got this connection.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy they kind of got that talk over in the first episode, because I wouldn't want to see that strung out through like 5 or 6. It would have got annoying.
Which even the setup for that talk was him being a fucking baby. He
was.
he doesn't have. He knows that she sleeps on that couch. He knew it was late at night. That whole I ain't see your text bullshit, whatever. He purposefully was, and I understand it his spot. He can do whatever he want. But you know when you doing some shit to do some shit for attention. He purposely was sitting out there on that couch, not watching that fucking TV, waiting for her to come back so they could have a conversation. Because as soon as she said some shit he didn't like, he got up and just walked in the room. He didn't even cut the television off. Like he didn't care that shit was on. He won't up front watching shit. He was up front because he knew that she couldn't go to bed without talking to him because that's where the fuck she sleep at.
That's true.
That nigga childish. Like I understand why he's upset. Like he was kind of the knight in shining armor. Issa did say some fucked up shit to him in the first season. She did kind of string him along in the second season. Then she got mad at him towards the end of the second season with the whole busting her eyes shit. So they have a rocky relationship. I think that he's better for her than Lawrence, but given that Issa don't know what the fuck she want, I don't think anybody is good for her right now.
And I think that's the problem. And so, even too with the fact of she's sleeping, even she's sleeping there also makes things a little awkward too. So she definitely needs to leave.
That's awkward as fuck. I'm sorry. Like, and she been there for a while. Like,
when he said she been there when he mentioned that you've been here for a couple of weeks for free, and she was like, yeah. I was like, well, girl, why?
she can't afford
You
shit.
could go.
Because it's true now. Out of all the places you went, you came here. Like, that was a true statement.
Yeah, which I do appreciate they got the why she couldn't stay with Molly stuff out of the way with Dro. But like in terms of if you had to, place your bets on what would be more comfortable with you overall, probably would pick my, best friend over a nigga I got complicated feelings on, no matter if I broke her vase or not. So
Absolutely.
I just think it's definitely a faulty excuse on her end.
For sure. Is there anything else y'all wanted to say about Daniel?
Can we talk about the studio scene with my favorite cameo?
Yeah, we can.
I did not know that was Dawn.
Yes,
So it was her?
It was her.
Listen,
Okay.
that woman has rearranged face and body for the longest. So,
Because my girl was
because
like,
every time I see Dawn, Dawn looks like
Well, she just did a tiny desk like a week or so ago. So
Yes, she did. Also, they just announced a Dawn and Dumb Blonde, which is Aubrey and Shannon tour. So
Nigga.
60% of Danny Kane is going on tour.
remember at one point it was them three already. And
Yes,
then
but
they
Dawn, but Dawn gave punched Aubrey dead in the eye, and Aubrey pressed charges because that's what white women do.
Mhm.
And after that, there was no more Danny Kane.
So, I as much as I talk about like Dawn and her face changes because at one point I was like, who the fuck is this woman? Like Dawn actually has some I like her music. So
Mhm.
I am a solo Dawn low-key stan. I really do enjoy Dawn's solo music.
I do. It's good.
It is good.
So are the sound of her pants going to be on that song as well? Because
That was funny.
nigga,
Oh my god.
That
what
whole
material
scene.
is that? That's what I want to find.
Plastic.
that whole
Yeah, that was
scene is
classic.
greatness. Like as soon as she turned away from the microphone, I was like, oh, so we just don't need that part of the song, huh? We don't need that.
No, I was in here so bad, like it's real. Like, girl, we can't hear you. This is horrible recording. Like, you are not at the mic.
Then,
So, like, you just not at the mic.
then when old boy found out who her brother was, and it was somebody he wanted to network with, and she came out and they was like, yo, that shit was kind of dope. And she was like, I do be writing sometimes. I was like, you've been saying the same word like 10 times, nigga. You ain't say nothing.
I read somewhere that the guy that was with Daniel is Issa's brother in real life.
That is Issa's brother. So I was
Really?
yes,
Oh, wow.
it is. So the guy, he's been on the show in like certain doses. He used to be a part of this rap group called Fly Guys. And when Issa did the Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl web series, she did a series right after that about their like a mockumentary style series about their times trying to make it big as a rapper. So they were called it was 3 of them, and her brother was the like 3rd rapper.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to watch it. It was actually like a very funny mockumentary, but very low grade, standard of like mid 2000s. YouTube web series, but I enjoyed it. It is definitely a personal favorite of mine.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna fuck with that. Okay.
Yeah, she was doing the
You
most
see
in that
stuff,
booth.
and then you be like, you don't know if it's true or not. So okay, that's good.
No, that's actually her brother. I think his rap name is Animal, like because it's his name spelled backwards.
Okay.
I'm not joking. I wish I was. It starts with an E. So I think his real name is like Lamine, like Lam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Wow.
INE, and backwards it's Animal, and that was his rap name.
Wow. Greatness.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm about to spell my name backwards real quick.
It spells nope. Just look, we can continue now. Why you gonna spell your name backwards?
I want to be a rapper one day.
You're gonna be an Indian rapper. You ain't even got too many consonants in it. You got no vowels.
Noita.
See, there you go. Told you.
That's right, boy. Noita.
This nigga, yo.
Possible rap names.
Let's see.
Never too old to start. Never too old to start.
All right. So Dro. Oh no, hold on. I'm sorry. I don't know why we didn't talk about this. And I feel like people would come after us if we didn't. That poor baby's hair that they was braiding. And I love the setup of this scene because that baby's hair is tight. And she is getting abused during that conversation. And on the wall near the front door where you enter the crib is nothing but those affirmation posters, like the little wooden joints, like your day will be great because you're you, and have a nice life because life is grand, and stuff like that, right? Be positive, think strong. All of that stuff is on that wall, and I'm looking at this mother abuse the hell out of this baby to put your head down, stay at a grown folk conversation, which always annoyed me because y'all having a conversation over my head. I can't do nothing but listen. You talking right into my ear.
That was my little sister. Look, I've seen that many a day.
Yeah, I saw
my childhood.
I saw my childhood too. I saw the alopecia just forming. Poor child.
The edgelessness of with some heavy ass barrettes.
Like Ashley was watching it, and Ashley was like, "Oh my god, I can't. I don't understand why this happens."
Hair, like the ponytail holders with the balls on the end. That's all she needed.
And then she said,
like childhood, like my mom used to do my hair growing up, and she was definitely more gentle, thank the Lord. But I've had enough. Like I've had one too many like African braiding spot and like Dominican blow dries in my life that I do my own hair now. Like it's traumatized me so much that I developed a skill.
Me too. Absolutely. Yeah.
This nigga, yo. That she during the conversations, which, you know, this is like when your barber be talking and you be worried about how your line about to come out. She is talking to her brother about, you know, Issa and the situation, and I think the other woman's name is Vanessa that he was banging out the night before. And when he leaves, she looks at whatever the hell she was doing while she was talking to that baby's head. So and she says, "Oh, girl, I done braided your head all types of wrong." And I was like, no.
Did you see the little girl's face? Like,
yes. Her face was disgusting.
You know, the little girl knows at that moment, I got to sit back here and do this paint all again. You fucking up, and I can't say a word.
Nothing.
I just got to sit here.
Nothing.
Oh, man. Gold. All right,
I feel like a lot of black women watched that scene and memories came in.
Nigga, my memories came back. I got cornrows for a long time. That shit was scalp be bleeding, bro. Don't we put no grease on that shit like it's gonna stop the bleeding? No. Dro. First off, nigga, if you gonna get a fucking lineup with a straight edge, do not have your baby hair frolicking all over the place on the front of your hair, disrupting your line. Like, I need you to pick one, my nigga. You got unnecessary S curling all over the front of your head with that grown ass man voice, 6'4" up in the air, sir.
Now that I know the whole that situation
with Tasha,
my God,
with Dominique Perry. So for those
fuck nigga and on the show and like.
My thing is that like somebody on Twitter said that he looks like a monster, and I couldn't get past that in my life. So like every time I look at him, I'm just like, I don't get it.
Someone said on the thread when I was reading some of the they said he looked like a praying mantis. I said, yep.
Ashley hates his mouth.
Was he the monster that like took like Sean Bradley's power?
The purple one.
Which one was that? The one who was the blue one.
Yeah, the tall, lanky dude.
Yes, he
Sean
looks
Bradley's
just like him.
That's crazy.
Yes, he looks just like him.
So Ashley doesn't like his mouth. So every time she talks, she just goes, ugh. Like every time he starts talking, she just goes, ugh.
Yeah, that's what frustrates me the most about Molly's decisions. Like, girl, this is the longest relationship you've had on this show, and it's for this nigga. He even killed. That's what makes me the most mad.
Did he lose weight in the off season? Because I feel like he had a bit more muscle mass last season. He looked real small when Molly took that key back. Like, I don't know if the shirt was tight or, you know, his ego was deflated at that point, but he was looking real slim.
Way he went bitch mode, and
we're gonna get to that, like, because that's gonna be
my god,
that's gonna be a discussion.
So much to say.
That's gonna be a discussion. I love that this season is about toxic masculinity. I do. We're gonna get to that because that was supreme toxic masculinity. Like, never fuck your whole shit. But
that's what the fuck they do.
So he shows up and him and Molly is doing a basically eat out situation, and she's trying to establish some boundaries. She basically says to this nigga, which I like the fact that they worded it this way, and I like the fact that she gave him that she gave the decision to him, even though she could have made the decision herself, which she kind of had already did because she knew what the fuck he was gonna do, which is even more sad which is even more fucked up when you think about who he was in her life before they got to this situation. Like, he is a true and through fuck boy, but yeah. So and I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. She lets him know, hey, you know, you with Candace, I'm not comfortable with this whole we friends and we fucking bullshit, but you married and I know your wife and we cool. So I need boundaries. We either gotta be acquaintances who fuck and we don't hang the fuck out, or we friends that don't fuck. Which one do you want? And she already knew what his answer was gonna be. But the fact that this nigga didn't even put, he so casually just went with, like, he never said it, but he so casually chose to go with acquaintances who fuck. And all I keep thinking is, nigga, this is your childhood fucking friend. You know what her situation has been growing up with men, with boys. You've been there. You've probably been a shoulder to cry on. And you are literally becoming another nigga to add to her long list of bad fucking decisions made by Molly.
It don't matter.
He don't give a fuck. He was like, dog, I'm trying to play in your pussy even though we friends. And that's exactly what he went with.
Now, hold on. I don't want to come off like I'm defending Dre.
No, go ahead, defend Dre.
I already know what John's saying.
I watched that conversation as a conversation that wasn't the first time they had that conversation. Like, that is a conversation they had multiple times. And he was just like, oh, okay, we're going to do this again. Because right after, he went back to, hey, girl, what you doing? Oh, you got a job? Good for you. And all that stuff. And went right back to that. Because she's been flip-flopping on, you know, because remember last season, she was like, I'm not doing this. And then we come back, we see she's doing this. So I took it as like that type of conversation where we're going to set these boundaries is a conversation that's happened multiple times, and then neither one of them ever stuck by the boundaries.
I see that, right? And we already know Molly, we've talked about this a bunch. Molly makes bad decisions.
She does.
Continues to make bad decisions. But my point, I look at it from the perspective of how I would handle this situation, right? And frankly, I just wouldn't fucking be in this situation to begin with. Because this is your childhood friend. You know she made bad decisions. Issa knows she made bad decisions. Molly knows she made bad decisions. Dro is her friend. He knows she made bad decisions. But the difference between Issa, us, and Dro is that we not taking advantage of knowing that Molly made bad decisions. And Dro is. Even if she letting him, even if she confused and flip-flopping, we got to base that on the fact we know she made bad fucking decisions. See, Molly can do bad all by herself without Dro. But he's supposed to be her fucking friend. And the fact that he's helping her do bad is now he's not her friend. I can't even look at him and be like he her friend no more.
He's not.
Yeah,
Like once
that's the difference
that
for
up,
me.
they started fucking. They're not. Absolutely.
Instead of being somebody there to be like, yo, Molly, don't do that. Like as your friend, yo, don't do that.
Yeah.
He took
Twan,
advantage
I
of
would
it.
have supported what you were saying earlier if, like, when we get later into the conversation, when he took that key without permission, that's where I was like, I'm signing off on this. Nope. I'm logging off. I can't do that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But like that was the way when I saw it, because I watched both of them. Like when she said that conversation, and it was almost like when you see a kid get like big mad, and he's like, "Oh, look at you! Like we had the conversation and you doing it again." But we know where it's gonna come back at.
It's just not worth shit. It just never was. I mean, to even just like what you said, like as far as for that is your childhood friend, to even bring that, that of, well, me and Candace got an open marriage, and even entertain it to your childhood friend is fucked up already. And then especially knowing how Molly is, it's fucked up. So he knew what he was doing. And that's why he was continuing doing the same things he did. And that's why he acted like a full-fledged bitch when she finally stood her ground and she finally was like, yep, I need that key back. Like, if we're going to have these boundaries and this is how you're going to treat me, then that's all you're going to be. So you're not going to be coming in when, you want to, which is asinine anyway. Like, Molly, baby, a key? Hell no.
Yeah, I don't know
like, that's crazy. But he knew what he was doing, and that's why he acted the way he acted when she snatched that key back.
Molly's game of bad decisions is like at full-fledged head right now. It is started and gone. The race is on.
And that is why I've been preaching for the longest. Y'all was laughing when I said these niggas, as soon as they leave, no towels, no water. Baby wipes are portable. You can wipe that shit in the car while you leave for the same reasons. Put them in their boundaries. Put them in their places.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. That shit that line has to be drawn.
Don't give them no inkling, because they do stuff. They do the same. Brick. I mean, and I've been in situations like that too, where you set these boundaries, and they still gonna try. Like they still gonna try to say, well, if I say this. Or maybe if we do this, and maybe if we go, I tell her, well, let's go out. You know what I'm saying? It'll change. No, it won't. Especially if you already know by default what this person is to you in your life, that helps tremendously. Mm-hmm. Especially if and they a fuck nigga and all they are good for is some dick and an orgasm, keep them that way. And as soon as they start acting funny, you can exit stage left. You don't have to worry about anything. You can block that number and keep it pushing.
Also, like, and again, this is because Molly makes bad decisions that she just did not entertain this. Because she's smart as hell. We know she's smart. But sometimes people just have a blind spot to particular common senses that we all can see.
Relationship.
Like she don't want to be alone. Too. She don't want to be alone. Mm-hmm. I understand that completely. That when she was supposed to go hang out with him, and she ended up going out with Issa. And we'll talk about what happens in that scene separately. We'll end the podcast on that whole thing that happened. But when she goes out with Issa, and they're out for a while, right? She's like, I got some time before I got to go do something. Issa's like, I'm outside. Cool. So they riding around, they doing whatever that we're going to talk about later. And Dro is like just waiting. He just waiting. And if I'm Molly, if I'm not Molly, actually, if I'm me, I'm thinking, why is this whole ass married nigga waiting for me? Like, I need to get off work. Like he out here. Well, cool. I just ran to the 7-Eleven down the street. I'll just hang out in there for 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Till you get back. Oh, cool. I had some laundry in the car I needed to do, so I just do it at the laundry spot around the corner from you. Coins and Fresh. I'll just hit that joint up. While you do whatever you do. Don't worry, girl. I got time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing else to do. It ain't like I got a home and a wife to go home to. Nigga got a whole ass wife, bruh, and he waiting for Molly to get back from her Issa adventure. Mm-hmm. So he can do whatever he want to do. He is fucking immature as shit. And the fact that Molly didn't look at that situation and go, why the fuck is this nigga hanging on to my teeth so hard, though?
I mean, when he fucked her in the bathroom at that birthday party, and then gonna go sliding right back next to the wife.
Oh, you can't sit on this side of the table.
That was his that was his confirmation to tell her like everything's fine. I still like you. Let me give you this weak ass stroke in this bathroom before, and everything will be fine. Like niggas, he's just wilding.
Yeah.
I think he also thrived on the fact that he knew Molly liked him that much. And the fact that she got so bothered by, oh, I gotta go, because he knew she didn't want him to go. He knew that, she wanted more, and this would definitely be something that she couldn't handle. And he likes that. It's just that's what fuckboys like. They thrive off attention. So the fact that now that, key snatch, this is what it's going to be. In a discussion, she really flat with him, cut and dry. He don't like that because now his attention's going to get cut.
Well, he's a child. He used to get in his fucking way, and he can't have his cookies and milk. So now he fucking upset. He don't want. He like, well, fuck it, fuck cookies then, fuck milk. Like that's how he acting. That's how he acting when she asked for that key back. And that whole so let's just fucking get into this. That whole fucking don't speak on my marriage and my wife shit, nigga. Are you fucking serious?
My wife do a fuck nigga statement.
Oh, now you a proud husband. Good for you, nigga.
That's the thing. Like, I didn't realize it until I watched it and like sat on it. Dro is absolutely Mike Jones and Molly. Like, you know what I mean? Like back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Like they all want me. That's exactly what he's doing to Molly. Like he's mad at the fact that she is now out here like independent of him. She's not as pressed, or it doesn't seem as pressed about his relationship. She's not as like sprung about him and his weak stroke in the bathroom, in the words of Deidre.
It was so weak. Oh my God.
It's like, yeah, dog, like you can't, the level of disrespect, and you hit it on the head, Brandon. Like, you're supposed to be my friend, and that's what you're gonna say to me? Okay, cool. Let me get my key back. Bye.
He said, don't speak on my marriage like she won't at his fucking wedding. Dog. Like, nigga, you brought her into your open relationship. Candace is calling you when you laying up in her fucking bed, dog.
Right.
And you talking about some don't speak on my marriage, nigga. Fuck you niggas that feel the need to be fucking proud after doing some fuck shit because somebody questioning the fuck shit you doing. Don't speak on my marriage. That's my wife. You can't talk about my wife like that.
Yeah, like, because I just hold my wife in just this so high regards that despite the fact that I'm slinging dick to anybody, and I mean, we don't know, like, Dro could be doing the same thing to a lot of bitches in LA. Laying up,
he
cooking
is,
fucking wheat biscuit pancakes and shit. Like, I'm sure he's doing it to Molly's not the only person.
He is.
So the fact that he's like, oh, well, you can't speak on, because that's like touchy, like that's off limits. You're not being respectful to her at all.
I don't know shit about perfumes, but I know that nigga Dro smell like Chanel number 5, 6, 7, 11, 21, and 30. All right.
Yeah. You could tell that his pancakes are runny. You can just tell.
No, nigga, you supposed to pull it up when the light turn.
Instead of butter. Yeah.
Wait for the light to turn green, nigga. Wait for it to turn green for you to lift that shit up. My God. But yeah, that whole, I hate, like, you always see that response too. You will see niggas do fuck shit 24/7. And then if you don't mention my kids, don't mention my wife. The whole time, no, his face buried in another woman's vagina and he paying child support to 10 other chicks.
I was waiting for him to say on God, but it didn't happen.
Like this nigga.
That's another great fuck niggas quote.
This nigga did not come out his face with pride. He did not just try to come out his face with marital pride, bruh.
He's such a clown. I'm like, Molly.
Your face was just buried in her vagina 10 minutes ago. You talking about don't speak about Candace like that. Candace at home alone. Did she come home
and he was just like there? Like,
yeah, she came out.
Turned on the lights, and he looked like a fucking, it was like a classic horror film. Why was he sitting there?
I'm surprised that nigga wasn't in there eating cereal. You out of milk, Molly.
And he would be the type, Molly was on vacation and he already had another bitch up in there.
Oh, he got a key though.
He got a key.
When he get tired of his wife, he over her house, eating up her food, watching her cable. He got
drinking up her shit. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm glad she took that key back. I know she was. You
Good
don't know.
job,
I'm like when he
Molly.
hit her,
Oh,
when
God.
he hit her, he tried to body her with that whole. You need to make your mind up because you don't know what you want. And she was like, I know I want my key back. I was like, boom, that's it. That's it. That's it. Ain't nothing else to say. That's it. Because he was her. He was like, oh, she right though.
Saltine cracker saltine.
I thought she was gonna let me keep this key.
Give me my shit.
You might want to check to see. See, they need to have something on your keys that lets you know if that shit been copied. Because that
I
nigga might got
know.
duplicates.
And see, yeah, like stuff like that, you know, because you got to be worried. I don't care who you are of giving like your keys to your house.
She should
like, she need to go and change some locks.
Keep the key, change the locks. Yeah, you go ahead. You can keep that key, bro. I'm changing the locks on that dick.
Locks. Yeah.
Like, nah, bro. It just that whole. I hope that niggas is still heavily watching this show because so many of y'all that was your face at one point in your life. I know y'all have said that shit to somebody. Y'all done came out your face trying to act like you a respectful, honorable ass nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, that's why I, one, love the show, but two, love how they started the season. They're going straight into the toxic masculinity.
Yeah, they did it with Daniel. They did it with him. They did it. Okay, so they did it with the nigga that got into the lift that rolled the blunt in 2 seconds. That was the quickest blunt roll I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
I was like, because I watched it a second time. I was like, the first time I watched it, I was like, I know he split that paper down the middle and was packing that bitch. They cut the Molly going, we got a sitch. Issa turned around and said something. He was like, nah, you good. And then he lit it. I was like, when did he pack it and roll it though? Like, when did he lick it and turn it, nigga? Like, when did the blunt become a blunt?
The fact that you feel that comfortable just doing that in a lift. Wow.
And they offer nobody none. See, that was the biggest foul. He didn't offer nobody none. He lit that bitch and didn't try to pass it to nobody. My man Nathan had to him this nigga up. Like, he beat the shit out of that boy too, big as that nigga was.
He really did. He really, really did.
So Issa and Molly go on a Lyft venture where they pick up only like, I don't know, they pick up 2 chicks in the beginning, which fuck you.
Party Lyft.
Yeah, party Lyft. Fuck you and yo put lotion in your feet in the back of my car ass before you get to wherever you going, dog. We're not gonna do that. We are not gonna do that. And old girl walking out to the Lyft was like, I hope the Lyft driver cute. And her friend with the braids was like, girl, you always thirsty. They get in the fucking Lyft and she lotioning her feet and old girl taking the Capri Suns and they just drinking. Molly can't get a Capri Sun. And you know, that's their first Lyft. Them girls won't gonna leave you no tip though. But it's it's fucked up. You know how easy it is to leave $1 tip on a Lyft? And $1 ain't nothing. Like that's $1 ain't nothing. They didn't leave $1, but they took the time and energy to leave comments. I'll leave you $2 if I leave some words.
Yeah, I've never left a comment for a Lyft.
I've left because it's just me. Like I've left like if it's been like a good conversation, and I might be like, oh, I enjoyed your conversation. Because I have to be like uplifting and shit. So sometimes I'll leave comments, but if I'm leaving a comment, I'm definitely leaving a tip. Like it's not like I'm gonna bypass that part and write all this shit about how you great, but you're not great enough for a tip.
Yeah, that was fucked up. So then the next person they pick up is Nathan. And Nathan is kind of chill. They pick him up in front of Staples Center. And Nathan is just kind of like, first of all, I thought that was fucking Prison Bae on Insecure. And I was like, nigga, that better not be Prison Bae. Issa, don't do that. Don't get that nigga no television shine. But it was.
The girl said he was on How to Catch a...
Oh, How to Get Away with Murder. Was.
Okay.
That's where I recognized him from. I was like, he looks mad familiar.
Okay,
he
cool.
was.
So Nathan was cool once I realized he wasn't Prison Bae. And then like they basically was kind of like Molly is kind of pushing that, my girl, she's picking up cute niggas because she's looking for a cute nigga. And he going to eat somewhere and it was like, this is why you hate LA because you don't know where to go get food. And Molly switched his shit up to go to some taco spot that I'm sure is like a staple in LA. And he also complained about the fact that to get 4 miles in LA take 30 minutes. Nigga, don't ever come to DC. You'll suffer the same fate. And
Atlanta too.
They're like, there's no shitting on LA in the party Lyft. So then I guess he did the share which I never knew how share works because the only time I've ever seen it really done is when Issa got in the car last season, it was a share lift. But this time, I guess it's like if you want to pick up somebody else to share with a share ride, you can, but you could ultimately it could be like if you get on the plane and it ain't packed and you end up with your whole row to yourself.
Yeah, if the initial person comes in and you like, oh, I'm going to such and such, like Walmart, and on the way to Walmart, somebody else picks up a share ride, I think it automatically, directs the driver to pick that person up as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Issa decides to pick somebody else up on the way there, and the fucking slander that this nigga catches before he even gets in the goddamn car. They roll up, and first of all, they shouldn't have picked that nigga up in that area of town. Like I was just watching it the second time, I was like, see, I wouldn't have picked nobody up over here, but that's just me. Y'all should. I think that I was like, this nigga is coming out what looks like to be a titty cocktail bar. Like I'm not sure you want to pick people up outside of that. When they pulling up, Issa says, can both of those niggas fit in the back? Oh, wait, that's one nigga? And I was like, nigga.
That was a big boy. And he was tall, too?
He was
big. Very tall.
Big dude. So he squeezed into the back of that car. And he said, let me get 2 of the Capri Suns. Even though they was Fruity Festival, and clearly Fruity Festival is nasty.
He's all y'all got is Fruit Frenzy?
Oh, Fruit Frenzy, there you go.
And then dude's like, can I get a Capri Sun? They only got Fruit
Frenzy, bro. So the next scene is literally him sucking his shit, the whole fruit and the frenzy out of that Capri Sun pouch.
I mean, can we all though understand that you just turn to a little kid when you see Capri Suns? I know I still will go in somewhere and see Capri Sun and be like, yeah, I'm gonna drink.
Nigga, if we ever get in a lift and this nigga offers us a Capri Sun, that's a $2 tip. And I'm leaving words with them 5 stars. I'm just in all caps.
Capri Suns.
In all caps. This nigga had Capri Suns. 5 stars, $2 tip. Give him a raise. So then they cut back again, and my man is rolling that blunt, that Insta roll blunt that he pulled out his pocket. Lights it to smoke it. They like, yo, can you not do that? Nathan grabs that shit out his mouth. See, that nigga ain't really want that blunt. He threw it out the window. And first, before he even gets there, they display the toxic masculinity from this nigga when he calls the women in the car bitches. Y'all bitches. ... It don't even matter what you say after that, because y'all bitches is the end to any sentence if it begins that way. Completely fucking unnecessary. Came out of nowhere. That nigga went from 0 to angry in a hot second and said that foul ass shit. This, and this is weird now that. So, quick story. Ashley's car died in the garage this weekend, right? The battery she's had it for 5 years. It finally shit itself. So when she went out to start, the car wouldn't start. So she was like, let me call AAA, see if they'll come jump it, so we can figure out what we want to do it after that. So they called AAA, and this dude pulls up, and he's, real respectful. He walks up, he's like, yo, what's up, homie? He like my age. He's like, what's up, homie? What's good? Oh, man, it's hot outside today. It's a hot day. Da, da, da. Real cool, real casual cat, right? He's really nice to Ashley. He's like, go ahead, start the car. He jumps it. It jumps right up. When Ashley got in the car to start it, she couldn't hear what he was saying because she had the window up, and I was like, yo, start your car. And she was like, huh? What? Huh? And then I walked over, I said, Ash, start your car. And she was like, oh, okay. And when she rolled the windows up, he was like, huh, he's like, yo, he's like, wow, right? Like females, right? And I kind of looked at him, I was like,
also, you don't know her. That's mine. That's my girl. Don't talk about her like that. We don't know each other like that to even make a joke.
It wasn't he wasn't even. I could tell that was just the way he referred to women. It wasn't a negative. It was not any negativity in it. But the fact that he said females, period, I was just like,
I think women need to start saying that. Women need to just be like males. Am I right? Like, don't even say men no more.
I just say niggas. I call them as who they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was, and I understand that there are dudes. I understand that there are niggas who don't understand that it's problematic to say females because they so fucking used to hearing other niggas say it, and they so used to fucking saying it because they ain't never around a bunch of women. But nigga, still in that moment, I was like, my parents upstairs.
The amount of stuff for me working with young males, the amount of stuff that I hear and that I hear from a young age, like 8, 9 years old, when it comes to how they talk to women, it's scary because I've had so many conversations, just random off the wall conversations from you talk to her like that, or oh y'all do that, or so you saying you really don't hit her? Like I've had all these conversations with like young kids.
Like, bruh, if his presentation hadn't been so chill and respectful to both her and me when he initially showed up, that whole conversation would have went differently. Like I had to backtrack and be like, oh, what? He one of them niggas that just says it. Like they just say females. Like he not saying females as in fucking females. Oh, but still, like that shit just rubbed me the wrong fucking way. But I take that back to this nigga in the car. Like I don't know his personality. I didn't meet him initially. I'm just watching a television show. But how he so casually just said bitches, as if he didn't know what their responses were gonna be to that. He legit looked fucking flabbergasted that they were offended. And then got his ass whooped.
I mean, because when he did it before, he was like, she was like, can you please put that out? And he just kept smoking and stuff like that. I think a part of him felt like the dude in the back was gonna have his back. But when he snatched it up, then that pride came in. You ain't gonna just snatch shit out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Like,
even though he let it happen.
I gotta say something.
He didn't really want that blunt. Like I said, he just let that shit casually happen. I don't know if he thought the nigga was gonna superfly hit that blunt and then pass it back to him. But
dudes let pride get them in the fight so fucking quick.
Like, get that ass in the back seat.
You just let shit escalate like quick ass shit.
My sister is a nurse. She was like, yeah, they need to go ahead and drive him to a hospital, just drop him off. just drop him off outside in the ER wing. She's like, just drop him off in the ER wing.
They do that too. Happens all the time. They just roll the person out and then they just speed off.
But shout out to Nathan, man. Despite getting out the car and running in the other direction after whooping that big nigga ass, he left a $50 tip.
I was like, he still found a way to leave a tip, which I was very appreciative of. I was like, at least shout out to you, man.
Yeah, it was one good nigga in this episode. Not saying Daniel wasn't a good nigga, but he had his moments. So it was one non-toxic at all for the short period of time we saw him nigga in this episode. Mm-hmm. So that was good. And I mean, if anyone doesn't have anything else they want to bring up, I do want to say fuck Issa's boss for sure, and I hope that whole organization falls the fuck apart.
Yeah, we got y'all been needed to go. Yeah. They've been needed to go, but especially the way she was talking to her. What was wild to me is that in the scene, while she's talking crazy to her, she has an Africa poster,
nigga,
of like
next to a Beyonce poster.
And I was like, we're not doing this.
It's next to a Beyonce poster, and on the wall, on the side wall, it's all these pictures of indigenous people.
Dog, it took me clean out because I kept looking at the scene. I was just like, wait, is that? I was like, there's no way that cannot be the whole continent of Africa. And it surely was the whole continent of Africa.
Yeah. Did y'all see the Read stickers and the Another Round podcast or whatever?
Yes, I did.
On her cubicle?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Yeah. So
I guess we should talk about too the TV show.
Kevin. So for people who don't know, HBO is all in for this Kevin shit. and you can go watch it at hbo.com/insecure/Kevin or something like that. And there are 2 episodes up because they played 2 episodes in this episode. There's the first one where they're trying to cook the Cornish hen and they burn the shit out of it. And then there's the other episode where that nigga came out with the ugly ass cornrows and said #me2, which took me clean the fuck out, bro.
Because it's a reboot.
Yeah, based around the whole Roseanne shit.
Yeah, so the first episode is the old joint, and that's why Home Dude got the high top fade.
Oh,
and they're talking about So they're talking about how people like why don't those shows from the 90s are getting rebooted? Why isn't this one? So the first episode shows all of them, and it's like the old school junk. And that's when you see that, because you see the little kid. He pops out the damn fridge.
That's why he's a grown adult in the new one. I was so confused,
he's a grown adult because it's a reboot. They rebooted the show.
I was so fucking confused. I was like, why is this nigga a grown ass nigga in the second
show.
episode though?
That makes so much. Okay, thank you for that context. So I have 2 things I wanted to add context wise. First of all, adult the little man that got turned into an adult is actually the director of the episode, Prentice Penny.
It is.
Yeah, like Prentice Penny is like the producer. He's a showrunner. He does a bunch of stuff.
He also directed the first episode. Also, do you know who directed the show within the show? Like who directed Kevin?
I do.
It was Kim Fields, aka Regine.
Are you serious?
Yes, she did.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
So like having her and Erica Alexander both working, basically working on it.
Max and Regine back again.
That is amazing. So first off, I just love this intro because it's ridiculousness. This shit looks so bad. So that's the old shit. And this is the new one.
Kevin, it's you and me, we family, just trying to be the best that we can be. Kevin, so here we go for what we know, go with the flow and get ready for the show.
Booyah.
Wow. I need them to release more of these episodes from the original and from the new one.
Man, but not for nothing. Like just the thought, like the logo being similar to the Martin logo, the buildings in the background looking like living, like the thought that was brought into this just for a little couple of seconds in this episode. God, I love Issa and her stupid ass mind. What is wrong with her?
This nigga's name for this episode was Colin Kaepernick.
That with 2 C's. You gotta emphasize that.
Yeah. Yes. I can't. I just.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Y'all can go watch this at hbo.com/insecure/Kevin, spelled Kevyn. So I will be watching these for sure.
Kevin. Yeah, and having Ron Johnson in that terrible high top fade wig will never not be funny.
Nigga, that shit is slant. That shit is
never not be funny.
Why is his slant due north though as a callback? Like what is that about?
Every time I still get a chuckle looking at it because I'm just like it's clearly very oddly placed because he's naturally bald and you can just tell like this is just weird. Oh man, and they would try to mask it, but listen, Kevin, if you want to do reboots now, I mean, you keep all the other ones, but if you want to do reboot Living Single, it still holds up. I was watching it on Hulu, and
it does.
That show aged like fine wine versus a lot of these other Black sitcoms.
It does. Kyle and Maxine are still hilarious.
Yeah, like episode 1, they were essentially talking about like womanism. Like it's still holds up. Very much still holds up.
So Yeah, man, that's pretty much. I think that's everything in this episode. I need Issa to assert her blackness, display her black girl magic at the nonprofit joint, got y'all or whatever, because that white woman saying that she is the problem, she is causing all of the problems right
Ooh, I
now.
would have fought her.
Yo,
She pissed me off.
I think Issa's gonna end up making her own joint.
I think she
Yeah.
should do contract work with them
Mhm.
per herself. Yeah.
I mean, because she's like, because any other boss would have been like, okay, I'm doing my job, I'm getting all these things. So I'm sitting here and I'm hearing there's reasons why these people are leaving our company. And I write all them stuff down from each person and say, hey, as I was doing my job, I also did this. A good boss will be like, yo, that's great work. Let's look into this shit. But when you're just trying to keep somebody in their place,
Mm-hmm.
or trying to show them that you're in charge, you'll do that shit, That's why I feel like he's just gonna look at like all the stuff that they looking at. We got y'all like they're not helping us do, and be like, you know what, I can do this maybe at just one school.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Yeah.
I,
Have we ever?
my bad.
Were you
go
gonna
ahead.
say? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, have we ever explored on the show like what Issa got her degree in? Because I'm really curious about like we touched a little bit on, I think it was like season 1 when she was trying to be more active in her job. But I would like to see her, one, not work there, but two, we never really get into how did she end up at We Got Y'all, because it always seemed like her talents were never used there since season 1. So I'm curious to see like what her degree is in.
I'm not sure. I always assumed it was in like a socialism or something. I don't know.
Social work, yeah.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting. So everybody was fighting for that promotion last season, right? And Frida ended up getting it. And I like Frida's character. She's still white, so sometimes she doesn't understand what the fuck's going on when it comes to interacting with people of color. But I think she is well-natured, and I think that she wants to be Issa's friend, but she also realizes that it is not a good time at her job, and her boss is losing her fucking mind. For obvious reasons, she's fake as fuck. But every promotion, every time you see a door open up, that might not necessarily be a door that you want to walk through. And I think that Frida getting that position over Issa, and now you seeing the dilemma that this company is in and what Frida is being forced to do, being in that number 2 position as an assistant to this woman, I think it's interesting. Like, I honestly believe that Issa dodged a bullet here. Because she would have been the token black woman assistant. She like somebody else said, there's only one black woman on the cover of an organization that's supposed to be dedicated to persons of color. And Issa was like, that's me. Like that is, she's the only one. So for her to be an assistant to this white woman that is like glamorizing blackness and is really trying to Rachel Dolezal as her own is ineffective. And then for Frida to be put in the position now, you see what she's doing. She's using Frida to be she's using Frida to helicopter people. She's walking like the old boy was annoyed as shit. Like, I knew, before you even say it, I'm doing it. Because this is what she has to do every day. She's got Frida micromanaging people for her. And that's really not a position that you want to be in. You're not a boss, but you got to act like you people bosses because you being bossed around by somebody who don't want to do their job. Fuck that shit. So, I think Issa dodged the bullet, and I just think that I like that they put that in this episode. Everything that you think you might want, you feel like you think you might have lost out on some shit, grass always look green on the other side. That shit ain't always true.
That's a great point. Very, very great point. I will also say, like, I think the boss that plays the boss on this show is also her boss on Awkward Black Girl, the web series.
Might be. Joanne,
I'm pretty positive she is.
I think it is too.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. I want to go back and look at that because
I kept looking at her and I was like, I really think you're the boss from the web series. Which honestly, we need to have a come to Jesus moment with her because she plays appropriating white person at your job a little too well. Because every time I see her, I'm like, ooh, I don't know, girl.
The only thing
mean,
I remember
if-
from is
if-
Orange is the New Black. So when I saw her in this, I was like, oh, that's the officer from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, she is.
She is the officer. You're
That like
absolutely
that
right.
corny dude. Yep.
Yeah.
But if they keep like a subplot of this whole season of problematic white woman, I will be happy.
Nigga.
You know what I mean? If that's just a running subplot through the season.
That would be great, actually.
That'd be wonderful.
Nice. All right, man. Anything else anybody wants to bring up?
No, I'm just excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of season 3 brings. How many episodes we have this one? Is it 8 too?
I didn't even check.
I think it's just 7 that I looked. It's not a lot this season.
Listen, I get it. I appreciate the less is more model. I know Insecure does it. I know Atlanta does it. Y'all can just carve this up to a solid 10. Like, we don't have to be doing these 7, 8 episodes.
Atlanta actually added more episodes their second season. So
yeah. And last season, Issa only had 8. I'm like, dude, stop.
It's HBO. They do this weird shit.
Yeah, it's 7 episodes.
How much you want to bet Ballers has more episodes than Insecure?
And for what?
I mean, I like Ballers, but you're right as well. For what? These niggas trying to get another football stadium in Las Vegas. For what? For The Rock not having a relationship with the most beautiful black woman, one of the most beautiful black women probably on television, because she gets on his fucking nerves. I swear to God, I don't understand him. I don't
know how he does all these like television shows.
Because he got time. He ain't got nothing
But
but
does he? Because he's always in he had at least 2 to 3 big blockbuster movies.
That nigga does 8 television shows and 53 movies.
But you got to understand
Yeah.
that is his team. Like for all those blockbuster films, it's the same team that he's working with. So they can shoot and plan all that stuff out and then just release it.
It is, yeah, because the dude that did Skyscraper is the same dude that did
it's not just
the San Andreas.
It's a whole team. Like the writer, the producer, the director, they all are The Rock's last 5 or 6 films have been by the same group of dudes.
Yeah, because San Andreas, Skyscraper, and Rampage are the same film, and you can't tell me otherwise.
No, you're right. But you would also.
And The Rock knows it, but Rock getting all this good money, doing all this stuff, and working out 28 hours a day.
Listen, if you want to be a mediocre like action star, I'd rather you be Brown.
I just want him to have a relationship with a Brown,
look, Mark
person on television.
Wahlberg doing it.
Ugh.
Mark Wahlberg is doing it. Like, so why can't The Rock?
I refuse to go see Mile 22. We have screening for it. I refuse to go see it. I'm so tired of him being like America's white boy. I'm so sick.
For some reason, I want to see Mile 22. I don't know why.
I don't. I don't want to see any more films where he is a goddamn American hero for whatever the fucking reason.
Especially because he like punched a whole.
Yeah, that dude's trying to make up for a lot of racism in his past.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad you tried to. I caught myself up and be like, but wait.
I mean, that nigga is like, we got to remember that nigga's from Boston.
He threw rocks
like,
at black people.
Yes.
He from the hood Boston. Like that nigga trying to make up for a lot of stuff.
All right. So all right, we're out. Yeah. Let's go ahead and close this out. Joy, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you'll be, like I said, a regular host from this point on for Insecure.
This is my early verbal agreement. So yes, I would like to come back again.
Boom. Make sure you run that by your agent. Let me know if I need to fax him anything.
Y'all need to leave me be.
And for everybody else watching Insecure, if you think it's something we missed, let us know. Let us know what you want to hear more about in each episode. And other than that, man, just enjoy the season, and we will see y'all next week for episode 2, which is titled Familiar Like. Peace.